maybe you'd categorize like like most people drop EPs when they're like trying like concept albums. So maybe that's the thing that comes out maybe before the album, just to test out what the sound could be. But for an album or a tape or a mixtape or whatever you want to call it, I think we could classify it as that. But nowadays I just feel like there's a thin line between like what a project is. Like, what do you call 4 songs an EP, 7 songs an EP, or what?
Exactly. So it's even curious because even like sometimes songs comes out as a single, but it has 3 songs. I'm like, how does a single have 3 songs? But Mr. Lou, you're very interesting. I've never sat down with you, but I'm a big fan of your work. But there's something that confuses me about you. The monikers, the different monikers and the different hats you wear. It's interesting, especially from the outside looking in. This nigga will be tweeting himself from a different Twitter account and saying manage. Like, it's confusing. Like, we love it, but who's Mr. Lou? For the guys there's a lot of people who know different faces of who you are, but who's Mr. Lou for the guys hearing about you for the first time?
Mr. Lou is a social experiment.
That is it.
I think I'll stick by that.
King Kerby, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm blessed, man.
Welcome to Radio 254.
Thank you.
First time having you here.
Yes.
We're the home of Kenyan content and music, and really like the project you guys put together. I'd love to know who's King Kerby and how did he meet the social experiment, as he wants to refer to himself as?
I mean, well, Mr. Lou is a social experiment, but like Luther is a human being.
Okay.
You know, but so I think we met a few years back when I was working on one of my projects, Metro Empathy. So that's when we met for the first time, and then we stayed in the same neighborhood, so we were homies, and our lives like took on a bit of like distance as we started to define ourselves as individuals, as young adults, as business people. So this is like a coming together that culminates like years of individual work we've been putting in, like as human beings, as artists, and as business people. So, and that's what I am. I'm an individual, I'm an artist, and I'm a businessman.
So I'm trying to remember, for me, the first time I heard of Kerby.
Yeah.
It was around 2010, and I used to go to Provoke Studio, and
crazy.
Provoke would show me demos of like Captain the Cool Kids.
Yeah, damn, that's back in the
so
day.
Like, this is 2010. We're talking about like Kerby was rapping,
Yeah,
like rapping. So like I've seen, I mean, when 2020, it's been 12 years, and you can see like your music continues to grow and evolve. Like, how's your music changed from then to now, and even your reason for doing music? Like, why are you still making music, and like how is music still like relevant to your life till now?
Yeah, well, man, like that's a really good question. Shout out to you. You do your research, but like not many people know that was back in the day, like 12 years.
Yeah.
And the music was fire for real.
Like way even better than even some of the music we have today.
Because Provoke is innovative as a producer, and that's when that's when I started like making music seriously. So I feel like the difference between then and now is that now I just believe in myself more, and I've harnessed like my style more. I articulate myself better, like as a writer, because I am a writer and a performer. So, and I'm more, I'm like having more fun with writing, with exploring like different things, but also understanding my sound. Like I really know my niche, and so that's how I pick people who I work with. Like this project, for instance. So right now, and also my reason for doing music is a lot more natural now. Whereas like I just feel like as a man I'm more stable, so I'm no longer like trying to prove myself. And for so many years like I knew I could do it, but like I had so many circumstances around me that were challenging my self-belief. So just looking back and been able to overcome a lot of those things, I'm able to just have fun with the music now.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I like the different sounds on this project are very interesting. I feel like Outer Space is super different from Nakujali. Like the songs are so different. How long and what was the process of making this project for you guys?
The project took maybe almost 10 months like, in actual timing, but I think it felt way longer than that because some of the beats that I made at the time were like I had made them like a few years ago, and you know that's the first time when Kerby would come to the studio, and I'd always just like play him new stuff, and he's like, that's cool, let's bag that. And so we just even started going back to like old archive beats that I've made because I constantly always like make new stuff.
Was it easier because you guys are like almost like neighbors, or like you guys were living around the same area? Like, was it easier because you guys? How would you guys link up and record? Like, what was it like? Would you guys call each other? Is it like you just find? How do you guys find yourselves just making music together? How did you guys find the two of you? It's comfortable and it's a vibe because it's not just you guys just walk into a studio and make music with anyone.
Yeah, true. Because I feel like the connections we built in South Sea, you know, like I felt it had been a while since me and him actually like actively sat down to, you know, work on like a body of work, you know. So I feel like since I moved out to like my new house, like he was like one of the first people to just come, even, you know, when there's no couch, nothing, and we just like vibe out and like revisit old and new stuff. Even sometimes mix things on the spot.
So in regards to production, is the production fully all of it yourself, or do you have other producers also producing on the project?
Yeah, they're outside the room. But yeah,
please shout them out because we love putting on new producers.
We have Revamp, we have Masmasai, we have.
So you're talking about the XPRSO gang, the proper XPRSO.
You know, it's just the XPRSO gang and friends. You know, like so there's the main XPRSO guys, and then you know there's the XPRSO and friends bit, which affiliates like Kerby, Chevy, just about to name a few, TG Black.
Shout out TG Black. I wish he'd release more music. Like TG Black has so much unreleased. I'm just like, bruh, this music is fire. So fire. Like, why you hold, like, it's so good. But Kerby, there's a sound that I really found interesting that you guys were experimenting with Son of the Sun, with Nabiswa, in regards to like Mwenendo. The reason those songs for me, and even like the audience who listen to the station a lot, they love like that sound because you can dance to it. And if you guys are performers, you know, like you need songs you can perform. Because as an artist, that's how you eat. Your shows is gonna be, and that sound I feel like it's exportable. It's Kenyan, but it's also exportable. It's different. Like, how did you guys even tap into that?
Even, you know, it's funny. I made a project with Nabiso, and then I made a project with Murat that will come out maybe after this. And then now Lou. So you're working with people who are like geniuses, but they're not out there as such. How do you even how do they find time, or how do you guys find time to connect? I have a really good eye, and I'm extra keen on the culture. Like I really research. So, and like I really like looking for unearthed gems. And I like warm sound. So also what these producers have in common is like the warmth in the production and their willingness to explore like vast sonic landscapes, like in Matako Baridi. Yeah, and like we made Matako Baridi over COVID just in a month or 2 months.
That project, I found that project by mistake on Twitter, and I was like, how do people not know about these songs? Because the sound is so, it's exciting. It's like, it's not Amapiano, it's not Gengetone, it's a balance of just vibes. It's vibes.
Yeah, we created like what resonates with us based on like what we like at the time, and as you're saying, like we also wanted to create songs that would be fun to perform. So that was one of the intentions. And also with Kazi Vijana, I feel like we've struck a perfect balance as well between like songs that, like, we love to perform all the songs, but we have
because like Nakujali is almost like a love song, but it's also fun. It's not like it's not like so, but it's fun. It's a fun love song, playful, you know.
Yeah. So we have like this project has songs for every mood. You know.
So when I was trying to do my research on Kerby, I was being told Kerby's super into healthy lifestyle and like I was being told about you and what you care about and what you prioritize. I've tried the Jabba juice. I want sugar in it though, bro. Like it's bitter. like I drink Jabba juice for the sugar, but like tell us about like your healthy living and what, like, I guess like what's important to you, like outside of the music. Like what's life, like what do you prioritize in life?
Man, I prioritize just learning ways in which I could experience myself and my environment better. because like it's something that's been a strong pillar in helping me get to this point, and I've seen a lot of things that inspired me to like pursue that, and been like through a lot of things that inspired me to also pursue that. So I'm all about like, you know, I enjoy being outdoors, I enjoy nature, I enjoy you know, recently especially learning more about my mind. It's not like the most fun thing, but it's rewarding, you
Okay.
know?
How does someone learn more about their mind?
um
So for like someone's out there listening, like,
Yeah.
yo, okay, cool, I want to learn more about me. Because like sometimes it's hard to face your inner self and like your flaws and everything you're dealing with. But like as you learn about yourself, like is it helping you? How, like what's that process like? And how do you even begin that?
yeah
I took acid, I saw my demons, and then
Yeah.
you know we fought, and then we're here. But like
yeah
what's your journey for figuring out like you know
Yeah.
your mind?
Yeah, well, it's a combination of different things, depending on like what the moment calls for, and what just happens to come my way. But like, so I've psychedelics as well for me are a big gateway into just exploring my brain, and then there's aspects of like friendship, accountability. There's also learning about like professional help, therapy,
Yeah,
you know.
that's important.
Yeah, and then learning how to just small like habitual tweaks, you know, like just learning how to breathe deeper, to meditate, to control the nervous system, to influence the nervous system, and to also be open to other people's perspectives that are beyond like what I think, so that it's never like thinking that you know everything, just being open.
So you're learning.
Yeah.
You said you have a good ear in terms of production and producers.
Yeah.
Can you produce yourself? Would you want to?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can, but I mean, I can't like go sonic. Like if you gave me a setup right now, I wouldn't go sonically all the way to like engineering it the way I want it to sound. But like I know my way around. I consider myself a producer. Like I don't consider myself a basic artist.
Okay.
So even when I'm working with people, like I'm always like part of the production, even just vocally, sonically, like understanding how to place my voice. Like when I write, I'm not writing bars. Like I build like song melody and stuff.
Okay.
I don't just rap. I don't actually rap. I build like storytelling. So I feel like I actually have a style, and like the more people listen to this project, they'll realize.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I have a question, Mr. Lou.
Yeah.
When do you decide who you're going to be? Like, okay, I know that, okay, and I guess maybe I'm overthinking because I used to do this thing. I used to go on SoundCloud and deep dive. And I feel like you have at least 4 SoundCloud profiles.
Okay.
So as someone who's trying to collect the music, put it out there, when you see it mixed, when you put it in, you see if it's easier to go find all of your music in one place. I can see, okay, this is your body of work. But like you guys, like there's it's like a Finsta for SoundCloud. Like, this nigga has Finstas for SoundCloud.
Yeah.
So like, I guess when you're making music, is it like during the process or is it after that you say, okay, I'm gonna release this as this and what are the monikers? Because people, I sound like I'm talking crazy because they're like, what are you talking about? But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. And I feel like most of the XPRSO people probably have that too.
Okay.
I mean, of course,
I know Lucorito.
Yeah, I mean, Lucorito is not me.
No,
actually.
I know Lucorito is not you.
Yeah, but
like Lucorito probably also has different names, right? Or no?
okay, Luco has one.
Okay. Revamp.
All I can account for is they're outside here.
Yeah,
Actually,
okay.
I wish they were in, but
Mordecai, at some point you're gonna bring in some people.
yeah. So anyway, all of us have those different monikers. I mean, a popular one most people used to know me by when I used to only rap was Slinky, and then after that, Mr. Lou came into the picture when I started like putting out my own beats and creating like my own remixes. So then that's the one that really like popped off. Of course, there's another one. I mean, because I know the real ones who are listening to this stream are like real. If they know Huzuni is also another guy.
Yeah.
If anyone was paying attention, you'd know that was me. But yeah.
So I was asking, how do you know? Okay, so what's the difference between Slinky and Mr. and
I mean, Slinky is gone.
Okay.
He's no longer there because now it's like the grown-up version of Lou is the grown-up version of Slinky.
Okay.
And then Huzuni was mostly just for tests and like just experiment. Like I finished this right now. I don't want to overthink. Let me just put this out.
Okay.
Mostly remixes.
There was a really, really early production. Either there was a either it was a production or collabo with Karun, that you guys put out a lot, like early, like beginning when I started hearing about XPRSO.
Under.
Yes, exactly. A SoundCloud classic.
Yeah.
So like even like at that point, how are you even like at that point were you confident enough to say, hey, I'm Mr. How are you even approaching guys? Like how do you decide who you're gonna work with and figure that out?
I think for me it's always like I'm open to working with everyone, and I mean not everyone, but I think if we click even on like a friendship level, it's always a good start, because most of the people I work with, I always think of them as like long-term even music partners, you know.
Okay.
So with Karun, we just pretty much met over the internet, like most things, and she was like, let's just shoot like a random live session at the backyard, and we made the thing on the spot, and
That was it.
And
as you've kind of grown, are you part of Ableton? Are you you produce on Ableton?
Yes,
do you produce solely on Ableton or different DAWs as well?
I mean, I know how to use most of them.
Okay.
The primary weapon of choice is Ableton.
Can you tell us, for you specifically as a producer, as an artist, why do you prefer Ableton to like a Logic or like a Fruity Loops?
I prefer Ableton because, one, the customer service is on point. They have a good artist and relations team, and they talk to everyone. I think for me that was like number one.
Okay.
And then about the software, if you're being technical, I just think that the workflow is really like
So I've seen that you, as well as XPRSO, have been involved in like a lot of the Ableton sessions that they have, bring to different producers. How has that helped like what you guys are doing? Because a lot of people who know about the XPRSO sound love the sound, whether you're talking about Nairobi bass, bro, even like you talk about like Ugly, or you talk about even like the cuts from the Tangaza compilations. Like bro, Shix McKenna motherfucker is ill, bro. Lugorito, people don't understand how good that music is. Yeah. And like
can
it's like,
they come in?
Of course.
Can they
we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna bring in some guests so we can talk to them. But guys, the music is lit, the guests are lit. We'll be right back.
Kwa nini kesho? Ai, si kesho. Washo itaki hasira kwa shit. Baba yao mnasikiza nikispeak. Usikamrum ya mabazenga. No try joke bonga shit. I'm on tracks na drill. Na deku stack my meal. Niachane jona mashek na nze kula ma foreign weed. Washo itaki hasira kwa shit. Baba yao mnasikiza nikispeak. Usikamrum ya mabazenga. No try joke bonga shit. I'm on tracks na drill. Na deku stack my meal. Niachane jona mashek na nze kula ma foreign weed. Kwa block na chafwa scene. Big boys anatambua team. Toka kwa blog nimekuwa ni dream. That's a daily mimi na scheme. And if I'm boggy Johnny ta risk. I'm blind and testing for links. Competition jet make a stiff. Na bring smoke, asha spliff. Kwa street journey mavidevu. Hakuna kupula na sticks. Any nigga na talk trash. Ata end up joke kwa pitch. Ni ma fist. Ni ma fist. Na bring smoke. Tuna asha joma spliff. Kwa street journey mavidevu. Hakuna kupula na sticks. Any nigga na talk trash. Ana end up joke kwa pitch. Ni ma fist. Ni ma fist. Tuna bring smoke. Na asha ma spliff. Washo itaki hasira kwa shit. Baba yao mnasikiza nikispeak. Usikamrum ya mabazenga. No try joke bonga shit. I'm on tracks na drill. Na deku stack my meal. Niachane jona mashek na nze kula ma foreign weed. washatak ya sira kwa shit baba yao mnasikiza nkispeak uskam room ya mabazenga no try joke bonga shit I'm on tracks no drill in a deck stack my meal ya chane njona mashake nanze kula ma foreign weed
niko traps in cobro chill kwa idhaa ya venye una feel kwa hapa kwa msewa mpesa sitabidi amerudia till hizi keks metuchekesha huko nyuma npiga spliff na pana shakes makena hii ni foreign ya OT nachoma rasuvu trafiki nachoma pasto pedi weed no mabazu stuck in traffic wanaangusha bag ya G kuna wenye unita luko wasiwa buru nita team na kuna wenye ukinletea ufala utapata print ya ring kuna mande mfuta spoti kina luma shashamin kuna sewa black and white awate ionja kasi chini kiwa mtu indikuwa na dream penye all is said and did basarada bado chafu na nahamia buru clean
washoitaki ya sira kwa shit baba yao mnasikiza nkispeak uskam room ya mabazenga no try joke bonga shit I'm on tracks na drill na deck stack my meal ya chane njona mashake nanze kula ma foreign weed washoitaki ya sira kwa shit baba yao mnasikiza nkispeak uskam room ya mabazenga no try joke bonga shit I'm on tracks na drill na deck stack my meal ya chane njona mashake nanze kula ma foreign weed yo Yo, sikia, kwa nini kesho? Ai, si kesho. Washoitaki ya sira kwa shit baba yao mnasikiza nkispeak uskam room ya mabazenga no try joke bonga shit I'm on tracks na drill na deck stack my meal ya chane njona mashake nanze kula ma foreign weed washoitaki ya sira kwa shit baba yao mnasikiza nkispeak uskam room ya mabazenga no try joke bonga shit I'm on tracks na drill na deck stack my meal ya chane njona mashake nanze kula ma foreign weed kwa block na chapa scene big boys anatambua team toka kwa blog nimekuwa ni dream that's a daily mimi na scheme and for mbogi Johnny ta risk I'm blind and testing for the links competition jet make a stiff tuna bring smoke.
Woo! Guys, we are back, and you're listening to Radio 254. We are in studio, and it's now a full studio. Like, it's literally full-on, like, bashment. I'm gonna put on the camera so you can see everybody's... Bruh, tumeja. It's like it's a political rally. Except there's no politicians or money. But we're in studio with King Kerby, Mr. Lou, XPRSO, and so many wonderful creatives in the building. I'm happy to be here with you guys. Because Kenyan music is in a good place. When you see like different young producers, different artists collaborating, doing different things, like you have to understand that it's not just the artist. You need the producer, you need the artist, you need the creatives, you need the visuals, and all of it comes together to make the bigger picture that we're doing. I want to ask you guys, King Kerby and Mr. Lou, for you guys, is music an everyday thing, and is it something that you're able to support yourselves with?
Yeah.
How?
Shows. Through even like, for example, like getting to know like Kerby, for example, there's so many ways in which we both have, like I'd say, different networks, and we're all able to bring them all into one place. And through like these networks, we've been able to do like way more cool stuff, like the Jipe.
What's Jipe? For those guys who don't know,
Jipe is a clothing brand. Our friend Bonnie runs it, and through such networks, we've been able to also even test out the music to people and see other ways in which we can even improve in terms of performance. And of course, if you have a dope performance and you throw your own show, then there's bound to be like some income in there.
Awesome.
But most of the income for me, I'd say, comes from doing live shows. I also DJ as well. So on that side of things, that's how it works.
Okay. King Kerby, I wanted to ask you, as an artist and what you're doing right now, I feel like the internet is a beautiful thing. Personally, I wouldn't be able to know the music that you guys have all made if it wasn't for the internet, because radio is not playing this music. I found your music from SoundCloud. I find your music on Twitter. I find your music on YouTube. I find your music in different places. So I want to know for you as an artist, even when I saw the ad for Kazi Vijana, it's because it came on my Instagram. I was like, and I was happy because I was like, I didn't know that Mr. Lou and King Kerby dropped. I didn't even know you guys. I had heard Nakujali because I came out as a singer, but the internet helps us get more awareness. We have had 10 million people listen to our station, and it's not 10 people listening at the same time, but 10 people have walked into our door, checked us out, and left. And that's something beautiful because we're growing, and it's because of the internet. We'd not be able to have that kind of reach without the internet. How do you get to that many people? But like, how do you feel as an artist, how the internet has played a role in your career so far, and how you're using it as well?
Yeah, it's definitely played a big role. Like, for instance, I'm a big fan of these guys. And like, as a collective and as individuals, you know, so, and how I got to interact with XPRSO is through the internet. And then the internet like curates situations where us creatives like minds can meet in different events and stuff.
Then how do you guys, I guess, cool. Mr. Lou just talked about how he even met Karun on the internet. I can tell you so many people I've interacted with just because of the internet. If I didn't DM you the other night, we wouldn't be here. The internet is the reason a lot of things are happening. Yeah. So my question becomes, how do you translate those internet connections into something meaningful in person? Because yes, I can DM you, but then okay, how do you, you know, like it's, of course it's about vibes, but like is the internet enough, or how do you translate that and carry that forward?
That's a really good question, because personally for me, that's something I've been thinking about a lot. And I think for all of us in this room, we are kind of like individuals who are trying to create like analog memories in whatever we do, because everyone here has a job. To answer your previous question about like supporting yourselves, like for me, I'd say I'm in a space where I'm learning to be part of a community of proactive people, individuals who want to create, but like creating in a way that we want to see things through all the way to the end, because I feel like that momentum is what brings things into like reality.
Funny you say that. I heard you on Kelele Collective.
Yeah.
And another thing, I mean, I don't know if I can call XPRSO a collective, but I'm seeing a rise in collectives. I've even seen Kenyan creators are working with collective. Bro, I've worked like Akina Julian Drizzle. He's in a collective with guys in Germany, and they trade in the most interesting ways. Like one guy can make beats, another guy can mix and master, another guy can make visuals and posters. So literally, these guys in Kenya in South Sea. He sends his mixed. He needs a poster. All of them are contributing. Me, I can make beats in the collective. Me, I give everybody beats. You make posters, you give everybody posters. Same thing I see with Blinky. Like Zakadel makes visuals. You need Chris Kaiga works with it's not just Chris Kaiga. It's a team. And I'm seeing. I feel like we understand that if we work together, we can grow. Like if it's just only us, we're not gonna go far. And that's why I'm happy to see like you are coming together with two different artists and doing that, because you guys are good and you're big, but if you stay on your own, you can never cross over.
It's so true. Honestly, like, and I'd say with everyone in the room through this project, like I've learned to be less selfish, and like the less selfish you become, like it's so freeing. I feel like I can express myself like more naturally, because it's not about proving points. It's about like just making ourselves feel at home, you know? And there's also aspects of entrepreneurship. Like, so through doing Uzima Network, which is like a wellness organization that we run.
Love that you guys are doing that as well.
Yeah, and working with LC and just meeting different professionals. Like, it's also, I do, that's what I do when I'm not making music, you know? I'm just now integrating them together. So the things that I've learned from that is to become more disciplined, because when you're running your own thing, if you don't pull up, then it doesn't move.
Does it all connect when you say, because in my head I'm seeing it, but I want to ask you, because I don't want to assume, does the music connect with the wellness, and does that connect with your business? Like, does it all become like?
Yeah, it does. Like, honestly, because of Uzima Network personally, like I'm able to get to Lou's house, you know?
Yes.
And like come with milk, because as Africans, that's what we do.
You don't go to a nigga's house without anything.
Yeah. Or like bring a J, you know what I mean? And in the spirit of like collaboration and the rise of collectives, I think like we're just going back to our essence, because like we come from generations where people used to do barter trade and stuff. So we are realizing that like money is not the object, but like together we are resourceful. You know, and there's been like so much politics in Kenya over the years that's really divided us, And so the people stick together. Look at Somalis; they're making bank. Like Somalis come, they buy a building in town, bring a cousin from Isiolo, someone who doesn't even know English. In like 2 months, this guy has a car. You know, look at like the Indian community.
Exactly, they
same
stick together.
Thing, expats stick together. You know what I mean?
Bro, I go to like places
same.
and I'll ask for help, like from a white person. I'll be like, yo, I do this radio station, blah blah blah, and be like, you should talk to this person, bro. The niggas.
Yeah. Guys don't we
what?
We
what?
don't help each other.
We're all suffering.
Right.
We don't know. White people are helping me for free. I'm like, what? This is what should apply.
And honestly,
niggas will be like, stay down.
Yeah.
We don't want you going anywhere else, but stay where you are.
And when you like Kazi kwa Vijana, honestly, like that's the theme. That's the concept where we are realizing like we're switching up the energy. For me, the last 2 years, not even to like 5 years, has been like a time of transitioning from worrying if I'll make it in life or if things won't work out, because I came from a bit of like hardship. We all did, you know what I mean, in one way or another, because hardship is relative. So like now it's been realizing, and that's through change of like mindset, like learning to think more positively and not negatively, learning to be more grateful.
You know, happiness at the end of the day is a choice. Like you can choose to wallow in your shit. Everybody's going through shit right now, but you can choose to wake up and be like, fuck, my life sucks. I have no food, all the shit that's going wrong. Or you can be like, man, let me go try.
Yep.
And it's a mindset thing at the end of the day. If you decide you're fucked, you're fucked.
Yeah.
If you have hope, even a little hope can take you far.
Yeah, and those themes are in the album. If you listen to like everyone's lyrics, like if you listen to Mars's lyrics, he talks about like paradigms, like certain paradigms. If you listen to what Luko is saying on Puka or on Designer, what Chevy is saying, everyone is like bringing you into like a shift of paradigm. Yeah.
Luko's one of my favorite rappers though.
Me too.
Fucking hell.
Yo, me, I'm a big fan. Like Luko. Like my list, let me just say this on air, like my list. Like,
give us your list. Top five.
Like hands down in Kenya, like Luko, Mars. It's even like one. Luko, Mars. And then like who else? And then even Lou as a rapper, you know, because it's just about the sound as well. It's not about like Nikona Mistari 1 million nini. Nah, it's not. For me, it's about like the sound and the feeling, the emotion. Like all these guys, they rap, but like it gets you into like a certain emotion that just speaks to me. So top 5 for sure.
For me, it's the
relatability.
Asam Gavi works hard, bro. It's the relatability and the funness. When I hear like Tingisha Kidole or I listen to Ugly, bro, you're telling her she's ugly, but you're thinking it's a cute, like, I'm like, I like it because you see it's funny, it's entertainment, but it's also like it's witty. Yeah, and so you can't deny that. But what, Mr. Lou, you guys don't release enough music. Huh? Excuse me?
Maz has
seriously, where's the music?
What should I speak for us? How should we? Divine timing.
Okay. But you know that, okay, for me, when you guys drop, it's timeless. And it's really timeless. How do you guys as XPRSO, and because XPRSO is here, how do you guys, when you guys link, is it to make music? Is it to vibe? Like, what do you guys link? Like, you guys link for what? It's not just to smoke.
Let's be honest.
Go steps.
We cook. We meet. We cook.
Cook.
You can ask
who's
them.
cooking?
You can ask them.
Who's chefing it
You can
out?
ask them who the chef is, man. Let me not like.
I know Maz has a job. He's busy. He's busy at Heva. He's too busy.
Let me tell you, Maz's girl is serious. Revamps meat work is brazy. Mbuzi leg. Is it the leg? Ama which one do we eat? The rib. That one, the thigh. You know, Luko.
Look, what's Luko bring to the table?
Let me tell you, Luko is the breakfast guy.
Eggs, sausages,
pancake. Zizi, you guys, nah.
French toast. What are you making for breakfast?
Me.
So what are you making for breakfast?
You know, if I had an oven, I'd be making. But
is this nigga capping me? Someone tell me. Is he lying?
No. Guys, I cannot speak fake facts.
Okay.
Here's the thing. My guy Nathaniel, Ugali Pia. Look at that, man. Yo. And I can't even say. Actually, I'm going to snitch on everyone. Elsie's burgers, madness.
Okay.
Pillow. Where? I don't even know where to start. Uko utakula whole course meal.
So tonight, you guys are going to be at The Mist.
Yeah.
Can you tell guys what's happening at The Mist tonight? What is... Okay, The Mist is a hidden gem that people don't even understand yet. Like... The miss is it's at the mall. It's at the mall, at the basement of the mall, and they have this thing every Friday, and it's been really amazing seeing it grow and expand. Started really small, but like it's growing an audience, and it's something that I think is necessary because it's a platform for a lot of people, especially DJs, but now even artists. I've been seeing now they're working with artists because initially it was just DJs. Ralph and Shamina and them are doing an amazing job. But what are you guys gonna be doing there tonight? And what's gonna be going on? So guys can go check it out.
Tonight we're gonna be performing what we call a hybrid set, where we can combine like aspects of like DJing and
Sorry,
Drops my.
aspects of DJing and also like Ableton, live performance version of songs.
How does that work? Like with the Ableton, like with the performance / production set, like how does that work?
So we have a device called an Ableton Push 2, and it basically controls. I can control all the music from there without needing to look at my laptop and load effects. So it's easier for us to just transition between songs in a creative way, and also perform in a creative way.
I want to ask you a question in regards to your future. What's a dream? I'm curious because I feel like. I'm curious what's in your head and where you would want to take this thing, because I see potential. I just don't know where you could take it or where you would want to take it. I guess in your mind, what's big enough or what's the goal?
I feel like even in Kenya, in terms of artists who perform in a different way, someone like Blinky, the way he can loop beats on stage, and that's.
Have you worked with Blinky yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a single coming.
Lou's actually worked with. Lou has a good like.
Even Sauti Sol, I saw a picture with you with Sauti Sol like a year or two ago. Yeah. Last. You made last. Oh my God! Nice to meet you.
Guys at the bounce on that song.
Okay, we'll get you breakfast. We will buy you breakfast. You make for other people. We'll buy you breakfast.
And an oven.
Oven. We need some time. But what's a dream? I want to know where, like, if you were to say it out loud, like, how far do you want to take this? Is it just to go to Westie and be happy, or do you want to take this to Ibis? Like, where do you want to take this?
I just want
as Mr. Lou,
even everyone else who comes after us to, I guess, learn from it and also even take it to the next level. Just basically show anyone who's also just making beats in their room that it's easy to. Because we've all this.
I used to live in America and watch videos of you fuckers in a little. You guys used to shoot videos on YouTube and fucking up with Jason Kalinga and shit. Like, you guys were, these niggas were literally like, I was in America like, what the fuck are these niggas doing? But it was different. It was authentic as well. It wasn't fake. You know, you guys were just being yourselves. Yeah.
And you know, and something else is like even beyond the music, like in the room here, everyone has played such an instrumental role in each other's lives. And even if it's not for a long time, it's about like the impact. So like Selo, for instance, does so much more. Like she's a musician as well, but like
this. We're quiet. It's not just chapstick.
Always the most quiet.
I thought it's just chapstick.
It's always the most quiet ones. That's why you have to like
of course
pick them up. But like she's there's the friendship aspect that he's saying, and then the professional aspect. Like we get to practice with each other our skills that have nothing to do with the primary art that we do, whether it's production, songwriting or whatever. Everyone here is actually like pursuing. Everyone has a job.
Yeah.
A side hustle. Even this guy does design work and stuff. You know.
I know he does a lot. He's just being humble over here.
Yeah. So the dream,
I could go off. I have time.
I know, right? But the dream is to see like everyone, just like a wholesome thing where a lot of people can look at everyone in this room and aspire to like really be themselves to the max, you know. So whether it's companies like growing, XPRSO, like more than just a group, it's a label. Like there's like levels to stuff, you know. So it's to build like structures around the potential like products, quote unquote products that exist.
So I want to be honest with you and tell you one thing. My current struggle in life, me personally, is I would like to have the resources to actualize the dreams I have, in the sense of, I have a vision, I have a good idea, I'm trying to grow it, but the resources is the thing I don't have.
Yeah.
I want to know from you, what's the one thing that's holding you back? Like what? And I don't think money, I wouldn't say money is holding me back. I don't necessarily need money. I just need to not give up, personally.
Yeah.
But like, what's stressing you? What's giving you pressure right now in your life?
The thing that's giving me pressure is, I mean, obviously there's like some personal battles that I've been facing. just to do with like my childhood, and because I'm becoming like
as a man, you know, you have to go back and like deal with that shit. You know, like we can pretend it didn't happen, but you can't grow without dealing with that stuff.
It starts coming up because now, like, I have to be, I get to be responsible with like myself in ways that I never had to. So those things come up naturally, and then it's like you can face them more. But like I'd say one thing, surrounding yourself with like dope people who are proactive and would let you just sit in your rant, or like will like call out something because they love you. Even if sometimes we'll argue and fight, it's because everyone is so passionate and they care. And then like the other thing is, for me, what holds me back is honestly like my own mind and my own like mental limitations that I'm realizing I've placed on myself along the way. And life has planted different ideas. You're not good enough. You're not this enough. You don't deserve this. Yeah. That's the only thing that holds me back. But like now,
how do you overcome such
now
things?
I believe for sure that I can do anything I put my mind to. I can manifest anything. And how you overcome is just going through shit. You make like mistakes and then you learn from them.
You don't beat yourself. Okay, I feel
definitely
like
beat myself up.
I think it's getting to a point where you stop beating yourself up and accepting who you are.
You have to start affirming yourself.
Because otherwise you'll just be beating yourself up forever.
For sure. And like the more you learn to affirm yourself, the more you learn to genuinely now like big other people up. Because like when you're in this state of fear, it's hard to like even contribute to other people because you're just like closed off. Yeah.
Mr. Lou, what are you grateful for?
For life. For breathing today.
Threw you off there.
That's the plastic answer you'd expect. But I'm grateful for my friends. For real.
For real.
Yeah.
How did XPRSO meet? That's actually, Google doesn't tell me that.
Fine. Okay, sawa. Here's the actual story. Here's the truth. We met through the internet, of course.
Love it.
First, I reached out to Revamp. I remember it was SoundCloud. And
what about Revamp? Like, were you like, okay, I want to work with
the
this guy?
808s.
Okay.
Those 808s, I was like, hey, it's Nanyamba.
He mixed such dope. Like,
yeah. Honestly, I learned how to even mix low and better through like the both of them, you know, because I feel like it's also like we're building on top of what we already know, and you know, just having the connection like where we. It started on SoundCloud. Mars as well on SoundCloud. I even still have those DMs somewhere. I should frame those.
Yes, like, those are important.
So we meet up regularly with Mars, like, because the nest was in Kileleshwa at the time, and it was kind of near where I lived. So me and him just started like creative.
You know, when you said the nest, I think about Blue Kisses and Blue Kiss.
Yeah. That project.
The only thing that comes close to the nest is XPRSO.
Yeah.
And God, like in the sense of when you listen to their projects, and they only have two projects.
Wallahi, facts.
And they only have two projects. And but if you listen to politician, Timeless. Mr. President, Sam, the content you feel as a Kenyan or as a human being, you can't not relate to that. Don't tell me about your fucking Bugatti. You live in your mom's house. Shut the fuck up. But like genuinely, the music is relatable, and you can listen to it and you can feel something.
Yeah.
Sure. But
and also these guys, their style is similar. Like I remember I met them on SoundCloud also. And you're from like that SoundCloud era.
Yeah.
So like Revamp's production.
Forget SoundCloud, Reverb Nation. That's where we started.
Hey, yeah. This guy's production was like always almost like 808s especially, and bass lines. And then Mars, his style is also like kind of like, you know, so I feel like as producers,
more chords
they're really similar, but they're different. Yeah.
How do we make a business out of this? In the sense of, we have a music scene. How do we make a music business? Any of you can answer.
Yeah, actually, you guys should. Caribbean.
Is there a way? Like, is there a way to make this sustainable? Is there a way to make this a business? Is there a way to make something where, you know?
Locorito. Hi, I think what we do is we just do this basically because like there's been different iterations of this happening. It's like I felt something in Nairobi buzz coming up. Alafu something maybe happens in between.
Because we started, you remember like New Nairobi started. We started like New Nairobi was. I remember like What's Good. We were doing New Nairobi, and then Gengetone came. Yeah, we love it. And then now we're like Kenyan drill, and it's like, so it's like, how do we keep something that's sustainable enough for us, where guys can get shows, guys can be able to do, because at the end of the day, the 5 guys who get shows is not cute anymore. Like, we have to open up ways. But you see, my personal take on this, and I want you guys to give me an opinion as well, is if corporates could support the ecosystem, it would work. Because if you say you have a Kenyan event, you're not going to get money. But bro, I was talking to a corporate. I said, I can bring you Heavy K and Cabs are small. They gave me 4 million. Bro, if I tell them I want to give you Calligraph and other guys, Joker, we have 250. I'm like, bro, 250 can't even... Like, so they're willing to invest in an act to South Africa and to the tune of 4 million shillings, but God forbid you say you're going to do a Kenyan event, even 5 stock is hard to get. So I feel like, how do we... And I personally would want involvement or investment from stakeholders, but like you guys as artists, what helps?
I think I'll lay it up from us, but like from my end, I feel like what Kerby said about like having mini ecosystems, like where we can figure something out, because like the corporate mind like is based on like proof of concept. So if we can do this like halfway and we've done this on our own, then it's easier to like upscale it to. And I know there's like some systemic issues maybe, but like I know like that's the most straightforward way.
I feel like the internet kills those systemic issues we have. Or to some point.
It just challenges them, right? But doesn't kill.
In Africa. I wanted to see. Just, I guess like, I won't add on to what Luca and Kerby are saying, just showing up, doing it till it sticks, but also like on the side of systems, like if you just talked about South Africa, for instance, right? So South Africa have this thing called BAFA. I don't know if you know BAFA. It's business and arts, something. And their whole work is to like mobilize funds from the corporate sector. It's a government body, and the whole work is to mobilize funds from the corporate sector and then find a way like to channel that money into the arts, right? So they support like events, they support like a lot of like cool shit in South Africa. And me, for the longest time, anywhere I've ever been where I've seen like the arts like working, is there's some level of systemic support. You know, it's not just like abandoned completely. And I'm not saying the government has to have like a heavy hand in it, but just like at least some level of support. And we don't see that enough, right? Or we don't see that consistently enough. I don't want to sit here and be the guy who like blames the government for everything, because there's been some like cool things. There's like an IP law coming. I know now they're really serious about data, like KNBS is working with KFC on a report. Who would have thought, you know? They're working with like film practitioners on a report to understand the sector better and all these things. And like that, we need to see that happening more consistently. I have a lot of thoughts about the roles that audiences have to play. Okay. But I won't get into that today.
So I want to poke you for a bit. Yeah. Because I won't get you here again. But I have a very serious question.
You get very serious question.
After I poke you, you wouldn't like me much.
Don't say that. Just take that back.
Okay, sorry. Sorry. It was a joke. But my question is, if we wait for... My thinking is of the thinking that if we wait for the government, we'll be waiting for a long time. So even when we had the idea or the thought of having a station that plays 100% Kenyan music, if you wait for regulation to be done, I didn't want to wait for regulation. I said, you know what, let's just do it. If they catch up, cool. Like now I listen to other stations, I'm like, cool, Sound City's playing Kenyan music. More stations are playing Kenyan music, which is amazing. Yeah. But we can't wait. No. And we can, because other countries have those in place, but our systems are not there yet. So we have to find alternatives. And that's the Kenyan ways we have to find ways to figure shit out. Yeah. But that's, our nature forces us to do that.
Yeah. I feel like I'm not saying we wait for the government. That's not what I'm saying, but I am saying that they can step up in a more robust way, and they're not doing that. And we're not the first generation to complain about this, course. And we won't be the last. But then we also can't stop bringing it up, right? Yeah. Like we need to be a thorn in their flesh in one way or another. And I think also, just obviously, we have to keep doing our thing, like in spite of government, right?
Do you think this? Okay, and I hear this from a lot of artists, especially established artists. Yeah. Established artists or a majority of Kenyan population don't think that there's enough good Kenyan music. And for me, the question becomes, who becomes the judge of good or bad Kenyan music? Because when I get a music submission, it's not me to decide whether the song is good or not. Yeah. It's the audience to decide. Art is art. It's not for what I might like a song and you might not like a song. It happens every day. Yeah. But like, who's the judge of good or bad Kenyan music, or who's the judge of good or bad Kenyan content? Like, we know bad content, but can you say a song is bad? Like, I can never tell someone your song is bad.
it's an honest expression, right? Like the whatever came out, someone sat down in the studio, it's an honest expression. And eventually, at the same time, like at the end of the day, like that person will find their audience, just like us. Like it's not like we knew
exactly.
Like we were coming with,
because you were to play like the audience game, your audience, you will never understand what you guys are.
Exactly.
But then you found you guys did your thing, and a lot of people love it, as you are. Instead of having to like fake the whatever is you who you're not, and it's not going to be authentic.
Exactly. So it's just a matter of that. Like I think what you said, what needs to happen so that the scene grows. I think like the more pockets of people who get this overwhelming feeling that they need to be true to themselves and true to their own sound. And it happens, like sometimes it happens in isolation, like you said, like we've been quiet, but like it's been quiet for like, okay, let's just work on the next thing, and it, in a very honest way, and like in our own cocoons. But like we trust that whatever comes out, like we don't know how the audiences will receive it, but like us, we mess with it.
Make it with love.
Exactly. We're making it like it's coming from an honest place, and we're like we're having fun when we do it, right? So that's the thing we need to trust more, and just like it gets challenging because sometimes like the shows can be small, the pay can be next to nothing sometimes, and all these things, but like just keep chipping away.
Again, just to like add to that last point that he said, I'll still insist on the thing of like Kazi kwa Vijana. Kazi kwa Vijana is us realizing we're no longer gonna play victim and like wait for government, because if someone's intention is not in something, why do you want to force them to like look at it? You know what I mean? If this is not important to me, then like even if you try to convince me to drink water until it becomes. So I feel like systems, what he's saying, is definitely the game changer, and being intentional about creating systems, because we can create. So we can literally create economy. And someone like Elsie, also like Selo, Maz, all of us in one way or another has experience in working with corporates. So artists need to expose themselves to.
Thank you for saying that.
We need so education and tools. And right now there's the net. You know what I mean? Like, so you have no excuse not to be able to learn stuff. So just like actually let's be more than just artists. Be more than like a beat maker. Be more than a DJ. Like learn about what's happening. Learn about like investment. Learn about spending your time well and stuff. Those basic things are literally like what is going to give us a core. And then now being consistent, as Luko said, doing this again and again and again.
Until repetition. It sticks. Because if you watch me, eventually it's going to work out.
It is already what, like for me, honestly, this project, guys, I don't know about you guys, but like this project and even the projects that you guys have done so far are a big success. Because everyone has managed to achieve the sonic goal they had. Because we are all such specific people. We're so like meticulous and different, so everyone here, if you work with them, they're always thinking about like, how do I do this different? That's what defines people in this room, so there's just like it's you're already like I'm different, I'm an outcast in Mekubali, so I'm not gonna try to fit the mold, the sounds that are out there. I'm not gonna try to do that.
So I guess my final question for you, it would be this. When I listen to the music that you guys put out and the music that you guys make, I hear the message, but beyond the message, I'm also able to hear the wittiness, which is amazing because it's not too much. There's a balance of everything. Yeah. But in the world where we live in, people consume singles or they consume some things. How do we get people to consume albums? Because if someone said, I listened to this project 4-6 times, just trying to hear what you guys are talking about, but like another person might not see another project even once. People know the single, like the Kawan song. They're not going to listen to a body of work, but you guys have sat down and made a body of work, and it's congratulations, it's amazing. The body of work is amazing. It's amazing that you guys were able to achieve this, and even to get to the point where you can put it out, it's amazing. But like, as an artist, do you care? Do you struggle? Like, your message is out there, you've put it out. How do you? I guess. It's you guys are in an interesting. It's out now. You can't do anything. Yeah. Now what do? You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. But now that it's out, you can't tell someone go listen to that bar. Like you're telling me like Lucas bar and that but like is someone going to? How do you get someone to listen to the whole thing so they can hear the whole message? Like when you listen to like Nairobi bass, there's a story as about a Nairobi. There's a cohesive story.
Yeah.
we're telling stories with our music. You guys are telling an expression of where your lives are at right now. Whether it's when someone puts it's, I would like to think that Kazi kwa Vijana is an expression of where Mr. Lou and King Kerby are right now.
All of us, yeah, for sure.
So it's like you've expressed where you are right now. Then what?
Luco.
Sorry about that.
That's cool. So I feel like the cool thing about the internet is, like you said, like it's out there, it's in the ether. So right now, if in let's say 15 years, someone, because there's this thing that's inherently Kenyan where we think like, because like history hasn't been documented well, we think we're the first ones to do everything.
Because we forget. We're
So when
humans.
you get there and you're like 19 or whatever age, and you're thinking, what were people doing this year? That's still there. You know, like it's a time
Like a capsule,
It
yeah.
is. Like, but like I feel like that's the cool thing about the internet. But like, yeah, that's what I would say.
Please tell me something. I hear all I hear is about your unreleased music. All I hear is that you have music tweets. When are we getting music?
See, Foundry is out now with Maya. Can't get enough. We give you 3 songs on Kabi's tape, bro. Like I've not been rapping for a while, so like just when I hang out with my guys, nyi pigeni Kabi na kina Maz mwambie wanitafute. Because when I hang out with my guys is when I rap. Otherwise, I'm just making beats.
Okay.
So that's just
By the way, like even working together is nice because we all go to like really purple patches. And
can you guys talk to each other about those? Can you talk to each other like openly, like bro?
Yeah.
I don't know what like, you know, because that's important. Like it's nice to have each other, but like if I can't be honest with you about what I'm going through, it's almost fake.
It's true. And I'm really grateful for that. Like for me, through this album, I've learned how to like communicate to all these guys. And sometimes I wasn't so good. Like there are things that I'm like, okay, yeah, I could do this better. But I'm glad that we've had those experiences because now in my experience, I've learned that that's what's important. If you have cohesion, us guys can create for years together. See about like results aside, see about like instant gratification.
Bigger picture, the vision you guys are not thinking about just right now.
Yeah.
Mr. Lou, I have a question from someone here. They're asking, they want to like DM people, they want to be able to like reach out to people on the internet that they want to work with, but they're scared. So they want to know, they heard you saying, hey, you're someone who, you're not afraid to go and do that. There's producers and artists out there listening right now and they're like, yo, me, I want to work with Mars. I want to work with so-and-so. And even that, the thought of the thought of sending the DM or even just, it's scary. I guess, what encouragement or like what advice do you give them? Like,
yeah, I think for me, number one is usually approach. That's always the first thing I've learned over the years. Like, no matter who you are, like, if I didn't know Lucorito, even Mars, all those years back, like, I would take time to really, like, also get to understand the, I guess, internet-ish personality of the person. And then also just know, okay, this guy seems like a chill guy. I can reach out like, hey, hope you're well, you know. Don't just like reach out to people because sometimes, okay, me and Revamp were having a laugh the other day because there's people who just like send you DM saying "Doi beat yangu" and they send like it's on a transfer link already. It's like, listen to this. Do you know how many times you can also be asked to just like take in all that? And there's also other things going on.
Exactly.
So I think it's just learning how to like stand out even from your first intro. You know,
that approach thing you said is important.
It's I think it's most like, and the thing we spoke about corporate as well. I feel like I got most of this experience of actually communicating in the right way. You know?
And that's why you said the very important things. Like you guys are artists, but at the same time you're more you know how to deal with a
If you
corporate.
think about
because otherwise,
yourself.
if you don't know how to, those conversations are different.
And that's where the money is at. So like,
and they're not your friends, by the
Yeah,
way.
they're not your
The
friends.
corporate's not your friend, but you have to give them
but you can
value. So
make
what's the
them-
value? And you guys have value.
yeah, through art, through music, that's the difference between like music and other products and art in general. Is art is the one thing that can move someone's heart. You know what I mean? So these corporates, even the most stone cold, you can penetrate them and like beyond the professional relationship and have friendship because they want it. They're just people who are guarded. You know what I mean? They just have boundaries. But like another thing is presentation, just to highlight something about Lou and everyone here, is as an upcoming artist, my bad, Dimeshika. But as an upcoming artist, like your presentation, like if you go on, reach out to people when ushajipanga You know what I mean?
Like, come at beat, produce and Lipia studio.
You know what I mean?
Have some, come
with value, like bring value to the table, and like until opportunities come, perfect like your presentation. How like learn to talk to people. Don't just learn to make beats, because a lot of people are dope at a skill, but they're shit at human relations. And for us, we've all grown to value that, like, hey, yeah, my people's skills matter.
Yeah.
And then another thing is like Lou is very specific with like the themes of like the artwork, which comes with being multifaceted.
You guys have a sick artwork. Yo, who did the artwork for Kazi kwa Vijana?
It's a collaboration.
Amazing.
Rogi,
like that
Precious.
is an amazing artwork.
Yeah. Precious.
Like,
we have to
stands
mention.
out. You see it, it stands out. That's like simple, but like it's so simple, but it says everything you need to know about.
And it took time.
Kenya, and I wrote like it's just perfect.
It took a lot of time, a lot of like meetings.
Whoever did that,
and
shout out.
stuff.
You said the name is Precious.
Precious and Rogan.
Okay.
So Rogan did the primary, and then Precious came and like gave it more texture.
Okay.
And you see, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Is Precious an animator?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tim,
yeah.
show them the t-shirt, man. Yo, man. Yeah, we can bake out now.
Yes,
Stream,
yes, yes.
stream,
She
stream.
did the animation video for you guys.
Yeah.
Yes, lovely.
yeah.
Lovely,
So like
lovely.
all these small things about packaging yourself as an upcoming artist, because as you guys said, the internet has opened things, so it doesn't matter like whether you're big or small. If your shit is dope, as long as someone stumbles on it and you capture the imagination. So how do you capture someone's imagination in a short time?
Yeah.
Because
attention span is low.
it's slow. Yeah.
Okay, so I wanna big you guys up because I've learned a lot, but so has everybody who's listening. But I'm really, really impressed with the people in this room in regards to how you guys are thinking about things, in regards to how you guys are working together, and even just learning. I'm learning the same way you guys are learning, and I feel like we're all learning about ourselves, about the industry, about just what's happening, and I feel we continue to learn, but we continue to share what we're learning.
Yeah.
Because you see, this knowledge that we have, it's useless if you don't share it with someone else. Like you said, you should make the game easier for the next kid. He shouldn't have to go through the same hoops and, the same hoopla. They don't have to go through that. If we can make it easier for them, share this knowledge, share this information, I'm super happy about you guys coming together, you guys working together, and want to congratulate you guys on the project one more time, because it is a solid project, and I'm looking forward to seeing so much more from you guys. I'm going to play the project one more time. Do you guys have any favorites? Just curious. Do you guys have favorites? I'm trying to pick my favorite because I'm on my 5th, 6th listen. I don't know. I don't have a favorite yet. Yeah. I like Designer, but I'm confused. What are you guys' favorites? Okay.
For me, it's Bassa Wine for me.
Bassa Wine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Revamp Designer.
Okay.
Revamp Designer.
Facts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Na uko hapo ndani pia, so bado ni facts. Yeah, and they keep changing, and that's honestly, this is a result of like all the years of us guys also being like working and not feeling. I put out so many projects and I was never like confident. People tell you it's dope, but you as an artist, you're self-critical. And same for Lou, So like now this is one project where we're all just like, we thank God. We can do better, but iko tu sawa,
So I want to make a correction, and you guys, I need you to help me make the correction. The album is Mr. Lou and King Kerby, or King Kerby and Mr. Lou. But it's an express. Okay. Because there's pieces of.
Okay.
Please, so I can have that correct.
Yes.
Please.
Yes, please. Okay. The album was released under XPRSO.
Exactly.
That's the umbrella. And then King Kerby and Mr. Lou. We just didn't have like, the way Anderson .Paak and Knowledge,
Yes.
Yeah.
Alchemist.
Because down here it says XPRSO.
Yeah,
So it looks so, but then what also makes me happy is I feel the love between XPRSO, and it's he's even mentioning about like how everybody's part of the tape. So it's not just Kerby and so who's how I guess I'm trying to I don't want to say
like,
the wrong thing.
How do you
guys view it? Like, is it Mr. Lou and King Kerby, or is it XPRSO?
Primarily like there's songs here and there like we all were involved in, like in either like playing a single key, and sometimes there's usually like maybe like a thin line between, okay, so you put like one thing on the thing, but how do we come together and be like, okay, I still want everyone still has to get their credits,
Yeah.
And even when you check the songwriter notes, you'll always see credits. Even if Mars produced, like there's a credit in some of the songs that you don't see featuring Mars.
Okay.
Yeah. So essentially, like XPRSO is the umbrella, and King Kerby and Lou are he raps. I mostly produced everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just wanna. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Okay. I understand that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eventually, Kerby.
Yeah.
I just want to say one thing. I don't even know if Kabi you know this, but like when the tape was being made, that was like after it was the first time in a long time after Nairobi that like the three of us would be in the same studio and would like record like a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like COVID did a number on us. Like guys don't know. Yeah. COVID
Man.
did like a proper number and
Yeah.
like, we weren't able to like click up and connect like in the same way.
Yeah.
And I remember Kabi used to say like you wanted that Nairobi-based energy. So also for us, just say thank you also because we were able to be like, oh, okay, we're in the studio. I don't think we thought about it like oh wait, but now that
It was a chance to go back to the studio together, you know.
Now that you've asked that question, I'm like, yeah, okay, there's like small parts
Yeah.
of like, oh wait, me and like Revamp would record.
Yeah.
Say a thing.
Yeah.
So thank you. That's really dope.
Wow, thank you. But honestly, to me, that is what meant the most. Like me, I've seen it all, done it all by this point. Like there's nothing.
I've seen Kerby
new.
perform in a church.
Yeah,
St.
I
Andrew's
performed-
Church, bro. This
I-
guy was in front of the church telling his story. I'm like,
Bruh.
wow.
I performed even
I've
at
seen
the, I performed at the like Lacrae concert. It was crazy.
Yeah, like your growth is
blankets.
Kirby, seeing your
AKA
growth is crazy. It's crazy.
It's been years. So like for me now, there's nothing new in terms of like material things, but I'm a huge fan of all these guys.
XPRSO, I have a serious question. Who's management?
Hey.
No, because you guys always. But who's management? Is it like who's management? Do you guys need a manager?
Well, if anyone wants to like help us.
No, but it's cute how you.
The
Okay,
shoe
but when you
fits.
guys be tweet, but you guys, who's management? And who tweets management?
I'll just say I can neither confirm nor deny the above allegations. Yeah, but honestly, yeah, it's just these
Okay,
guys,
I have a question
they
for
found us on
management.
the internet.
They're not in the room. I have a question for management.
Don't know.
They just handle all. It's like Big Brother.
Okay, how do we get the whole XPRSO on a stage?
How do we
XPRSO stage
Tonight.
tonight?
Tonight,
Yeah,
the
it's
mist,
Tonight. By the way,
free entry.
Free entry.
Okay.
Drinks
and also like in terms of making money, I think we also now believe that si lazima events zikwe kubwa ndo to make do. Like we're gonna do our own things, like create our own economy.
Exactly.
Like we're gonna be the corporate sponsoring our own music. You know what I mean?
Katha.
Yeah,
Kath
exactly. And what everyone else does supplements into the music. And also, last but not least, it's just dope to work with XPRSO, and they have a project coming out. So for me, seeing how they work behind the scenes, yeah, like it's been mad.
So we're gonna start with the show tonight, and then as you guys have more shows, let's plug those so we can build a community of people getting to know more of XPRSO and more of King Kerby and what you guys are doing. But even more so, the ecosystem where we're talking about you guys have businesses.
We even have a documentary coming.
You see?
Just to give you guys more context, you know.
So when's the
For
documentary
the real
coming?
YouTube one. Clearly.
May I watch your? No, but when's the okay? So there's a lot coming. So guys should be looking for it. So where do they stay in touch so they can keep up with all of this?
Management. No real shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a project to play for you guys. It's called Kazi kwa Vijana. It's by Mr. Lou and King Kerby. And I want you guys to really listen to this and enjoy it. I want to thank XPRSO for coming through. Please, if you are looking for a plan, check out The Mist tonight at the mall basement. There's going to be lots of vibes. You're going to love it, love it, love it. So pull up. These guys are heading there now. So you guys can get there before them or get there, but go check it out. Good night.
Hii ni kazi kwa vijana.